Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Hidden Indie Gems, where we embark on a journey into the vibrant world of indie gaming. Join me as we delve into the creative minds behind current and future indie games, uncovering what sets each one apart and makes it truly extraordinary. Today I got to talk to Preston Lee, one of the 3 individuals that makes up the trifecta team, also known as Curios Fox Sox. Together they created Death's Toll, which is the game that we will be featuring today. It is a thrilling, difficult roguelite road trip adventure filled with colorful characters. I really think you're going to enjoy this one. Now, this podcast has no sponsors and is 100% audience funded. If you want to support my creative work, you can buy me a coffee using the link in the description. Every dollar makes a huge difference. Thank you and enjoy the show. Can you tell me a little bit more about Curios Fox, how the team came together, the origin story, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. So Isaac, Gunnar, and I, we all went to the same elementary school, actually. So we've all kind of grown up together. Isaac, especially, we were, we kind of had the same friend group, close friends. Gunnar, still a friend, not in the same friend group, though, type of thing. And I remember back in middle school, we actually planned to make a game with us and a few other friends where we actually have similar roles to what we had now, where Isaac was directing, Gunnar was programming, and I was doing art. That's actually how we did it now, was I am in charge of art. I also did game balancing and a lot of the testing and a good amount of the game direction. Isaac also, he originally worked for Mob Games. He has just very recently quit, so he's working for us full-time now. But he did game direction, audio, music, and also helping with testing. And he also did all the writing, or most of the writing. And then Gunner's is the easy one to explain. He did programming. He is our programmer, and we are very thankful for him.
So Death's Toll, that's the name. So where did you draw inspiration to create the game?
So our main inspiration was actually another indie game, an indie road trip game called Death Road to Canada. Isaac and I played that a ton when he first moved down to St. Louis to work with Mob Games. We would play it with remote play, and it is such a fun game. I recommend it to death. It is an amazing game. That was definitely our main inspiration, and also the Oregon Trail. But basically, we knew we wanted a road trip adventure, and just the fun we've had with Death Road to Canada of just strategizing things. Like we got pretty good at it.
So that experience you'll have playing this together really motivated you to do this?
Oh, absolutely. We knew from the get-go we wanted co-op. Yeah, I mean, our first advertisement we did, I was actually in St. Louis visiting him because I'd never been. And I had a flight in about 3 hours. It was midnight when we were playing. So, a little delusional. I think in the video I kind of swear a little bit like a sailor because I didn't even know he was recording originally. Yeah, I didn't realize till about halfway through, and then I kind of went a little more quiet because I was like, oh shoot, a little much there. But yeah, we just tested the first, we got our programmer to send it through because we had no other way of testing. We didn't have anything up with Steam to test remote play, so it was all just purely, hey, it's couch co-op. Half the buttons didn't work. But he made an ad out of it, and the whole video, I hopefully think he deleted it, because it was just us being delusional and laughing every 5 seconds because it was so late. But yeah, I mean, it was the feeling of co-op and just with a buddy and going on an adventure with them is just such a fun feeling, and that's something we really wanted to capture.
How did you first conceive of this game, and how did it slowly evolve to what it is now?
Oh yeah, so yeah, originally it was leaning a little harder in Death Road to Canada for inspiration. And we did have the premise of The Beast, which that actually, I had the idea from Over the Garden Wall, if you've ever watched that. It's an amazing short series.
Yes, I've seen parts of it. My wife really likes it.
It's an amazing series. It's like, I'm watching it every year. And but they have a beast constantly chasing after them, and it's a very different beast. It's he's more of, I'd call, I don't know, more of like a creature of the forest, while this one is more of like a brooding animal. But kind of just the idea of constantly something's after you, you're taking too long, it's going to come at you. So kind of putting a little bit of a timer on your back. So, you don't want to dawdle too much. It kind of incentivizes to optimize your routes, optimize how you search an area for the best amount of loot chances and all of that. Yeah, but when it first started out, we weren't entirely sure. I mean, our programmer Gunnar was very new to Godot, and we actually handmade at first all of the scavenge events, which is what we call those generic looting events. I would have to hand make them, send it to the programmer, and he'd have to like basically replicate what I made. And then eventually we're just like, why are we not just randomly generating this? This is taking so incredibly long. And that made the game so much better.
Once it was randomly generated and move a lot faster.
Yeah, because especially during testing, I would just kind of subconsciously know the route to take and where chests could potentially spawn. But yeah, once we had it randomly generated, that made it infinitely better. And then we originally didn't have what we call text events, which are kind of reminiscent of the Oregon Trail and also Death Road to Canada, where as you're traveling, an event, something happens, and it's like, hey, you find a T-Rex. What do you do? And then it gives you some options. And that one came later on. That one we wanted to spice up the gameplay a little more.
That's a cool mechanic. It really makes it a lot more engaging and like you're actually playing a role in the game.
Yeah, and Isaac did a great job with the writing on that one. There are some really funny ones where, because I mean there's a lot of them. I think we have 75 currently, and we're adding more with an update that will be coming out in a few days, as of March 29th, just in case this is uploaded in like July and someone's like, oh, an update's coming out soon. But yes, we're adding more, but we have 75, and so I didn't read through most of them. That was mostly a programmer, and I'd go through and I'd play, and I'd see like the dumbest thing ever written, and I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, I know one of them, there's a very slim chance where you have to jump across a gap, and if you both jump across it, there's I think a 1% chance that you hold hands and then jump and you both miss it and fall to your death. But it's such a funny way to die. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if that happened.
Well, I was going to ask about game mechanics, but I think we cover a good bit of them. Are there any other ones that you really feel like you want to highlight?
Yes, that would be our trinkets. So our trinkets are kind of, in most roguelikes and roguelites, which is what we identify as ours, the main difference being roguelites, usually you can have some permanent upgrades, and for us that's classes and presets. Presets are a starting loadout for you can buy with the game's like kind of big currency, like the out of your run currency, which you gain by exploring and finding new biomes or rare chances. And in our update, we're actually having a slot machine where you can actually get some from that as well. Yeah, so with that, you're able to buy presets, which kind of give you some starting gear. And that is probably, I would say, the most important thing to being able to kick off, because it's our game has a decent difficulty spike. Once you start coasting by the first couple of areas, usually you have a good run on your hands. And originally we were going to have like weapon upgrade type things, but with our time frame, I mean, we wanted this game done in 6 months. It took us over a year, but we wanted it done originally in 6 months.
I think it's good to have some kind of deadline in mind, though, because you at least aim at it, and even if you miss it by 6 months, you still get it done in a year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like it was a matter of like, all right, we want this, this, and this, and then we have one programmer slaving away for us, and he has done amazing work, and we are so lucky to have a programmer like him.
What are some takeaways that you want players to get from the game? It's called Death's Toll, and what are they going to tell their friends about it?
I want them to talk about the wacky adventure they had. Like I love the road trip genre just in everything, movies, games. Like I think it is just such great vibes of just you're going on an adventure, no destination in mind, or you have a destination in mind, but it's about the journey. I want people to talk about the weird text events they got on what their characters say. When you beat the game, it actually says what your character did afterwards. Like it could be something like, yeah, they decide to write a book on their journeys. It doesn't sell great. Like a lot, like we want people to go on adventures and tell of the stories. Like I was talking about earlier in the reviews, I see a lot of that where it's like, yeah, I tried petting the T-Rex and I got eaten. Seeing people, another great feeling about game development is people actually gathering around your game. Like I never thought I'd have a dedicated Discord made by a fan where people talk about the game and stuff that happened. And meeting other people because, we brought them together.
So the final question really that I have for you is, where can my hundreds of thousands of listeners find more information about the game?
So the best place to find that is our socials. Currently, we are on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And our company has a lot coming. I mean, we've started on our next game, and I believe unless something happens, this major update we're working on will be our only major update because we want to be able to focus on our next game. We're hoping for a late summer release, late summer, early fall. Very different vibes. I've had to learn how to 3D model for this one, so that's been fun.
Thanks again, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss a single episode. Leave a review, share with your friends. See you next time.